I mean, let's look at where Paws Gaming can kind of try and bring this down. Like, in terms of damage, if they start taking up the Nua, if they start taking out the Ali, damage is going to be a bit of an issue here for them.
But when we talk about damage being an issue, that's not Paws SG's concern. No. They locked in the main. They want to fully funnel the damage towards the Lady Sun right now. The game plan is simple. You funnel gold to Paws SG's to carry the Pei, the Lady Sun. So for the side of Blacklist, you definitely have to have this Guan Yu to break the backline.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not very happy with the Paws composition. I think it's very Lady Sun dependent. And if Lady Sun was to fall, I don't know what's going to happen. But well, we'll get to see as the Gorge is right now getting open for the second half of the game for today. On the blue side, Blacklist. On the right side, Paws.
Paws, exactly. That's what I mean, right? Like, if they are very heavily dependent on the survival of Lady Sun, like Asagi rightly coined it, it is protect Madame President, right? So they've got to be doing that within these team fights right now. A little bit of tip attack going on into the mid lane, just trying to get that sort of longer range distance from Paws.
But yet again, a short pause coming in for the side of the tournament. We might be having some technical difficulties, so do keep in check right now as we check on the issue real quick.
Yeah, exactly. A pause coming through. I mean, we've had no pauses at this point. We get Paws Gaming going onto the stage. It's Paws Gaming, isn't it? So we're going for that one. A little bit of a dad joke there from me, so you can take that one on the chin. But yeah, again, the drafts here are looking to be very sort of different between both of these two teams, right? Like, the front line onto the side of Paws Gaming, very heavily dependent on Byron, and onto the side of Blacklist, we're looking at the Auburn.
Exactly, and if you were to break down both these teams' priority and objective, we want to see Blacklist be able to push out using Chammy's Guan Yu, the Razor Cavalry, onto the backline to make sure that Feng Jie on this Lady Sun does not get to play a fun game. For the side of Paws Gaming, you want the same thing as well. You want to protect Feng Jie and Pei on Myotosis to make sure that these two carries can have a safe environment to dish out DPS. So definitely both these two team comps, they clash in terms of their objective here. It depends on execution and whoever pulls the trigger first.
Yeah, exactly. Execution, pulling the trigger first, is what is going to be the forefront of both of these teams' minds going into these engages, right? So they've got to be careful. Depending on the Lady Sun, they can't allow that pick to be picked off within the team fights too early. So right now we're just waiting for this pause to come through and then get back onto the Gorge. But looking at these drafts, sort of, which one are you favoring more?
Well, for me, I think picking Ming into a Guan Yu is a bit of a risky pick. It's very high risk, high reward. Yes, you do give the damage, but hold on a moment though, as Paws, Myotosis is looking to invade the jungle.
Yeah, he's very cocky here, right? Like 3v1, trying to contest the Azure Golem is something that only Myotosis here, it seems, could escape that. Like, they didn't try and punish him onto the side of Blacklist.
Exactly. Chaz there looking for a play, but burning the flash early towards the game. What we mentioned so much about the drafts for both teams, but yet again, we need to talk about the jungle matchup as well. If Myotosis does scale off, if he doesn't get all these jungle invades, he doesn't get this jungle lead, it's definitely going to be a hard cookie to swallow for the side of Paul's draft.
Yeah, you don't want to be swallowing a full cookie, right? But what you do want to be swallowing, at least into the game, is putting Battle On with the CD key to get some freebies in game. So if you catch that on the screen, lock that in and get yourself some freebies on behalf of us at KWC. But right now, in terms of obviously gold, we're seeing the Paws Gaming are just kind of edging that out ever so slightly, thanks to taking and contesting some of these side camps.
Exactly, side camps are the name of the game because the fire beat from the bot side only spawns once. Once that is gone, it is gone forever on the Gorge. For the side top side, that is the primary place where you want to contest the objective. The River Sprite, 40-dimensional Sprite, is definitely the key thing, but hold on a moment, Golden Kite takes a big chunk.
Yeah, we do obviously exhaust the flash here from Feng Jie. It's going to be detrimental here. The Cannon Blast coming through is going to be enough to stop them. We do get the emergence here from Dragon First Blood. Going up to the side of Blacklist and potentially getting some more here. Jingling and Feng Jie looking pretty low, but so is Dragon. He gets taken down. That is looking like a 2-0 trade for Paws.
2-0 trade coming in from Paws in the 2v3 situation. And what's next? The jungle has faltered for the side of Blacklist International. Things are not looking good because losing bot side in a 3v3 situation, you lose the top chance. But hold on a moment though.
Oh, that was brilliant. Cannon blast coming through here. That's a nice thing to come through. Not going to quite connect and lock down the lady soon, but that is pretty much a constellation prize here for the side of Paws Gaming.
Exactly. 2 minutes in, almost 3. A 2,000 goal lead already cemented for the side of Paws SG. It is such a strong lead coming in such an early game.
Very early game. Very aggressive from what we've seen in the past 2 series, right? Like, I remember, I think it was Loops against Alpha 7. It took a while to get that first blood.
Exactly. Loops against Alpha 7 took a while for the first blood. Same goes to Dominator versus Vitality. But this game is looking hot and fire just 3 minutes in.
Yeah, 3 minutes in. I mean, what we're looking at around about a 2K gold difference already for the side of Paws Gaming. So that's already something that Blacklist International have to stop. They need to make sure that that doesn't keep amassing.
Exactly. And Paws SG, who do we coin? Feng Jie, the FMVP player of their team, the farming, the marksman on Lady Sun. He did that 2v3 alongside with Xingling. That was beautiful. Kiting away from the side of Dragons emerges, immediately making it such an important win for them. Translating that towards the top side, getting more jungle caps, making sure that they have number advantage at the top side.
Yeah, I mean, these side lanes are both where they're going to be looking at within both of these drafts, right? Like, we really need to put some very big emphasis on the potential of, if you don't focus enough or give enough resources over to the early, it's going to suffer going into the late game, especially against a pick like the Lady Soon.
Exactly. When we talk about late game, early, yes, a very strong early to mid-game tempo once you unlock the Doomsday, capable of dominating the side lane. But yet again, your DPS, your burst, does not equate to Lady Sun's late game. Lady Sun, once you get that rolling rate in, you get that 4 items, your burst is just insane. Let alone, you have that Ming as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's many times I've faced that in ranked matches, right? Like, you think you're safe under that T1, and then those rolling raids come through. They give you that one tap, you know, oh, my life flashed before my eyes. So, for those obviously watching, you may want to kind of like look into Lady Soon. It's a great pick. One of the most, I would say, prioritize popular picks within the farm lane as well.
Exactly. If you look to pick up the farm lane, definitely Arlie, one of the best in terms of micro mechanics. If you like flashy, mobile heroes, definitely Arlie is the go-to pick for you to pick up. But if you want those long-range bursts, high DPS sort of hero, definitely you can look at Lady Sun as well. The rolling rate, the shell damage coming in from all her spell set, a very high burst hero.
Very high burst hero. And we can kind of break it down even further than that, right? I mean, Arlie compared to the Lady Sun, there's definitely more of a gap in terms of the way that you play this hero, right? Like Arlie has a much more chance of getting out alive, whereas Lady Sun, she has to, the whole thing about a kit, she has to roll in, she does more damage rolling in. If she rolls out, it's kind of like you're losing that kind of edge. Your team, or your enemy team already knows that you're kind of rolling away with your tail between your legs.
Exactly. Well said, Blam. But definitely looking at these two teams' draft, we sort of have a bit of a technical issue here, but it's okay. We'll get that solved real quick. But looking at these two teams' draft, we talk about you need the mid-game for the side of Blacklist to work out, because you need the Ogron to get items, to be tanky. You need Arlie to get Doomsday, the item, to make sure that she scales out of the laning phase 4th minute. But right now, things have just blew out apart. Paul SG getting that 2 kills, getting that topside jungle, just blew Blacklist plan all apart in just one moment.
In just one moment. I mean, if we saw the takedown of the Lady Soon like we almost did there into the bot side of the map, especially with the cannon blast from the Motsu, I feel like that could have definitely put a bit more of a pace for the side of Blacklist to come through with a little bit more stronger footing before that 4-minute mark. But right now, they can't do that. They can't rewind time. They don't have an IO on their team. So they've just got to take that one on the chin. They've got to make sure that they get that focus into the bot side of the map, because that Tyrant fight is going to be really important for those two marksmen.
Exactly. But once again, when we talk about Blacklist, we always talk about potential comeback moments. That's why they tend to break the code. They're analyzing the code right now, and they're looking for opportunity to really come back, because one thing's for sure, we haven't seen Chammy been activated yet. His Razor Cavalry is still offline. Once it's activated, maybe the Tyrant fight, maybe the 10th minute mark, we might see an engage coming in from this important Guan Yu pick on Chammy, looking for these flanks on the side of Paul SG.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that one kind of spectrum that we could look at, right? Like going for the Guan Yu, looking at obviously Chammy 1's potential on that pick into the later team fights, into the neutral objectives. But the thing is, if they get the focus into that top side of the map, onto the side of Paws Gaming, then Chammy 1 doesn't really have that safety net to go back to, right? He doesn't get to go back to ground zero. He has to kind of make sure he is roaming around a little bit more to make him seem a little bit more viable. But we are back up to Paws. We are back in on the action, and there is some ultimates being expended right now. I think it's either the box. The emergence coming through. A double kill pickup here for Blacklist International.
What did I say, Blam? Breaking the code, they analyzed the code, and they got such a beautiful engage on the duo of the side of Paul SG's farm lane. Right now, you gotta think more, because the goalie is still 2,000 healthy for the side of Paul SG. You gotta find more of these opportunities to break this ball lane apart.
Yes, again, just committing some more cannon blast here just to push away Myosotis here, but you say they need to think more. Is there not enough thinking with the think inside the box ultimate?
I think that's a lot of think. They think inside the box, and right now, Chammy1 and Byron on the hands of Snow, they are looking to contest this Tyrant on the map.
Yes, Chammy1 coming into the back line here. Obviously, already putting a bit of strange onto Xiaoyang, but it is going to be the Tyrant going up the side of Paws Gaming for now. Snow just getting out of there. He was able to put himself into the front line just to soak a lot of that damage for his teams.
Well, the Tyrant buff goes over the hands of Paul SG. If you need more damage, the main D-Tyrant is now on the hands of Paul SG. That's a lot of damage for this lady soon.
Yeah, a lot of damage, right? I mean, just getting that extra bit of damage, that movement speed as well means she's going to be able to roam around the gorge and clear a little bit faster.
Exactly, and right now we are looking at the form of jungle sharing, the camp sharing from the side of Paul SG to further elevate Feng Jie on this lady soon to a higher level, making sure that he gets the items he needs to really scale towards the mid-late stages of the game.
That's what we're looking at right now. I mean, if you look at obviously gold per lane right now, obviously only 500 difference in the bot side of the map, so there's still room for error here for the side of Paws Gaming for Blacklist Golden Kite to come back into this race.
Exactly. Goal-wise, it's about the same for both teams, but right now we have to put focus on Myosotis as well on this pay, because this man, he's rocking a 600 gold lead. Not the best, but hold on. He is making sure these tempos are paying off, securing the Tyrant and looking for all these jungle camps. One good thing about P in the jungle, he has so much mobility and his clear speed is insanely fast. A perfect tempo jungler for you at home out there for those players who like to enjoy fast tempo jungles.
Yeah, if you're an aggressive player, you need to pick up that jungler, right? Either the Ogryn or the Pei, they both play very aggressively into the jungle, picking up the jungle clear very fast, but they all have their different motives, right? Going into the late game, going into the mid game to late game, Ogryn's going to be a lot more tankier, whereas Pei kind of falls off at that point.
Exactly, and looking at both these two team draft, I do want to point out that Blacklist draft is definitely more easy to execute, looking for these backline engages. For the side of Paws draft, it's looking like they need a lot of micro mechanics or their decision making to really amp up the tempo, because right now, one bad misposition coming in from Paws SG, that will spell doom for the side of them.
Yeah, massive doom, right? Like their Paws Gaming, like you're saying there, Sagi, they are looking for that correct pickoff. They're looking for that prime target, which is before a neutral objective fight, would be looking at like Jushi and the Ogryn, or maybe even potentially taking off Golden Kite or Dragon, obviously taking the damage off the side of Blacklist International.
Exactly, and we look at the current tempo right now, the Crimson Golem goes over the side of Golden Kite on this early. It gives you true damage and gives you slow on your basic attack. So it's a perfect buff for a marksman here. But hold on a minute though, Paul's Feng Jie is looking to pressure down this tower.
Yeah, emerge coming through. Obviously, Cannonblast is not going to stop this T2 takedown into the farm lane. That is Feng Jie picking up another T2. So that's already putting a lot of pressure onto the marksman, onto the side of Blacklist International, which on an early is not the best case scenario you want to be in.
I agree. Right now, the entire tempo is, as you mentioned, following the tempo of Paws SG. We need to find a way, if you're a Blacklist International fan, to really look into this. And look at the goal chart right now. The top two carries from the side of Paws is just rocking this goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where you want Pei and Lady Soon to be, right? They need to be top two, especially within the overall gold chart. But if we look at top four, we've got 3 out of 4 of the side of Paws Gaming occupying that position within the gold chart. But right now, if we're looking at Blacklist International, what did they need to do to come back in here? We'll hold that thought for a second as the passive onto the side of Xiaoyang is actually going to be exhausted there. The Annihilation is not going to annihilate anybody today, but the T1 here in the mid lane may go down, as well as the T1 traded onto the side of Paws.
This is what I'm talking about. One small mistake, that's going to cost you. Blacklist took the opportunity and they took one of the most important towers of the game, the mid tower. Right now, Myosotis here is looking to be caught out by Chammy here, but he leaps away to safety.
Yeah, I mean, he's done enough damage to that T2 into the clash lane to basically make Blacklist think, oh, we need to make sure we're giving some TLC to these side lanes now, because if they don't, that's where we see Paws Gaming start to create a backdoor.
Exactly, and looking at the goal chart right now, the damage chart, Chaz on the roam, on the Moses, dealt the most damage here, but both teams head on strong on this Tyrant.
Yeah, pretty much go down for the Tyrant there. The Conductor Soul's actually being conducted for the side of Blacklist. It's going to be enough to create some space. There is, we see Blacklist International picking up the Tyrant from the side of Paws, but is Chaz going to go down? He does get taken down. Golden Kite's able to slip out of there. The Razor Cavalry pushes Myosotis into the teammates of Blacklist.
But still, that's a positive win coming from the side of Paws. 2 kills, losing a Tyrant, it's fine. They're preparing for the 10th minute mark right now. Look at the amount of pressure they have. Feng Jie and Qingling is knocking onto the tier 3 for the side of Blacklist right now. Can Golden Kite defend this? I don't think so.
No, I mean, they're definitely going to lose that T3 right there. It goes down with a moment's notice, but same time, Chaz is now back up. We see Golden Kite taking way too much damage for my liking on the Ali, having to go back to base.
That's a lot of damage coming in from the side of the ladies. So, ladies and gentlemen, that combo almost took out Golden Kite on the early here. And 30 seconds on the clock. That will be the Shadow variant, the empowered objectives on the Overlord, on the Tyrant. That's going to be spawned on the map.
Yeah, a very aggressive playstyle here from Paws, right? Like, they've really worked those side lanes. They've really given over a lot of resources to Feng Jie on the ladies soon. As you can see here, 7.9k. It's now a 1k goal lead down to that farm lane. This is shaky waters for the side of Blacklist.
But still, 10 minutes. This is the key team fight that we have to look at. This team fight, whoever wins this will take the next 5 minutes tempo. You get the damage buff. You might be able to force team fights or force your enemy team to avoid you at all costs.
They do need to avoid you at all costs here with the Shadow Tyrant and Shadow Overlord, and now onto the Gorge. This is the 10-minute mark, right? We are getting into that mid to late game territory, which is where the ladies soon already with 2 to 1 kills here onto the side of Paws Gaming is only going to get stronger. We do see a takedown of the 3 down to T1 here, so a bit of pressure onto the side of Paws into the farm lane, but we are getting a takedown onto Golden Kite. The damage is being taken off the side of Blacklist International as we see dismantled right now. Paws Gaming, they get the backdoor, like we said moments ago, rush it in the mid lane, farm lane.
Feng Jie, untouchable, immediately kiting his way out of Chammy 1, out of Golden Kite's flank. And right now, they are knocking on the crystal, and they are about to cement themselves as the first game winner of this best of 3 series.
The quickest series, I think, yet. That is under 11 minutes.
Wow. Isaac. Oh, for me, I probably want to get Isaac's thoughts real quick, but for me, that was an insane game coming in from the side of Qingling and Feng Jie. They played phenomenal from the 2v3 into the bot lane, from that insane team fight at the Tyrant. Well, what did we say? Tyrant does contribute to the end game, towards the lead building. But yet again, that 5-4-0 trade coming in from the side of Paws SG, that was immaculate.
I'm telling you, this was the fastest game ever, man, that we have had in this whole day. It was quick, it was intense. We were thinking a little bit about the compositions. I did not believe at the beginning, but you know what? Fonje came in and then he told me, you gotta start believing in me, you know?
It made you a believer. It was like, hey, you aren't a believer right now. We're gonna make you believe. And even with those 2 pauses as well, right? Like, they were just like, 11-minute game? Sure, why not? Let's go for it. But the aggression, we saw it into before the mid-game mark, right? They really made a great effort of creating a backdoor into that farm lane. And that's exactly what they did. They were always thinking 2 steps ahead.
They were thinking 2 steps ahead, and Feng Jie and Qingling played this phenomenal. They were always positioned in the correct position to avoid these catches coming in from Chammy and Golden Kite. Look at this last fight. Golden Kite goes in, Feng Jie immediately responds with a flash. Chammy 1 comes in, but it's all little too late. Golden Kite has already been liberated from the map, and all things, it's Chammy 1 alone. And Feng Jie, even if he drops here, the game is still gonna be for the side of Paws.
Exactly that. I mean, the fact is that we obviously saw Champion 1 get into that team fight towards the end very late, and we knew that Paws Gaming knew what they had to do to deconstruct the code that is Blacklist. They had to take that damage off of that team before they could go in onto Champions 1.
It was interesting to watch in terms of Blacklist came in with a clear plan, right? Like that one you pick for sure, that Moza pick for sure. They came in just trying to counter something in a in a pretty abstract way, in a completely different thought, but it was difficult for them. Fengjie in that Lady Sun, let's talk about that. Lady Sun and Ming, high risk, high reward. Is that something that we want to toss out there for the people watching right now the stream?
Well, if you're a duo queue and you want to play all these high risk, high reward, high tempo, sort of strong laning duo in the farm lane and roam, Lady Sun and Ming, Fengjie and Qingling definitely prove a point to us. With that 2v3 in the bot lane, that was just whew, beautiful.
Exactly. I mean, even on my streams, right, like I get my duo to be like, hey, what support do you want me to play? They always like play Diadem. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go consort you. I need you on the Ming. And the damage that comes through in that early game, chef's kiss.
Is that a 100% win rate that you're talking about?
It's close. It's close.
It's close.
It's not 100%. It's close.
Is it like 90% close to 100% or like 50% close to 100%?
I'll be charitable and say 85%.
All right. You carry me, please. You gotta carry me, man. Thank you very much. Well, you know, Lady Sun and Ming is one of those pairs that we can have right over there. Everyone at home, if you have a friend that is going online, go and give it a try. It's a super important thing to master. Any other pairs that are right over there that we want to just kind of like toss out there for the audience?
I just think anything that has great damage, like naturally, say for example, like the Consort U, Lung, obviously you're not going to see that paired with the Ming within competitive, but it's going to be able to push you within ranked, especially if you have to communicate with your duo as well.
But hold on, if we talk about all these marksman pick like Lady Sun, like Long, like All In, we gotta give props to a certain someone, which is Fengjie, right? He was a pretty immaculate Lady Sun in my case. I was thinking like, man, this guy was styling on the coders. He was just diving, dashing on the gorge, and he was doing everything he can to dish out all the DPS that he needed.
He did. I mean, not only to the enemy heroes, but to those very crucial T1s, T2s, and T3s into that farm lane, because he was the actual moment that was able to create that backdoor effort.
It is an important moment just for players inside of the game, just to stand up and then just to say like, okay, I want to be the person that carries the flag for our team in this game. And who carried the flag for the team in this game, man? Who else? It was Fengjie with the MVP, man. A KDI of 4-1-5, which we've been talking a lot of not being something that crucial. But what was crucial from Fengjie in this moment was coming in the right moments.
Right moments, and I think to the detriment of Blacklist is the fact that they didn't really give the focus and care that they needed to do into the farm lane. Like, if they stopped this early, if they stopped this beast that is now the MVP onto the lane soon, we could be seeing a different playstyle, a different alternative here.
But definitely, look at him. 40% damage dealt and 29.1% damage taken. It means that a lot of these times, Blacklist was really trying to catch this man, Fengjie, the MVP, off guard. But yet again, his superior positioning, his awareness of the map state was just too darn good.
Too darn good, and especially the healing from the Ming's ultimate as well, right? Like, that's going to be the lifeline that you need to get out of there. In some of those cases where we saw Fengjie really low on health, that heal came through in the nick of time.
It was important for us to see. Now, let's imagine that we're going to move into the next game. Okay, we go into game 2. What does Blacklist need to do for them to keep a little bit of the hope of moving forward to the upper bracket?
I mean, draft-wise, it wasn't really the problem wasn't the draft, it was the execution, right? Like, they were on a timer exactly like Paws Gaming, but Paws Gaming played to their timing perfectly. They were putting on the aggression, they was funneling all the resources into not only Fengjie, but also Myosotis into the jungle. So that's exactly what they needed to do to get that early win, because if they didn't finish like 12 minutes, it would have been a different story for Blacklist.
But indeed, the execution, the key playmaking, all these contribute to the victory. But yet again, we have to focus on one thing that really contributed to this mid to late game for the side of Paws SG. It was really due to the fact that Fengjie and Qingling had such a dominant laning phase. They were schooling on Golden Kai and Chaz in the farm lane. So if you're a Blacklist fan, you gotta wonder, are we still gonna go head to head in the farm lane, or are we gonna play towards Chammy's tempo? Are we gonna play towards Gen.G's tempo? So maybe a fix, maybe a change of tempo will really breathe life into the game 2 of the series.
Exactly. I mean, it's all going to be answered, obviously, within the game 2's draft, right? Obviously, we saw the likes of the Luna being Bandit, which is obviously what you coined, is Gen.G's one of his favorite picks, right? Like, taking off the Luna is going to kind of revert him into that tank role within the jungle. And we already know for the side of Paws Gaming, they love to play these fast-paced, very aggressive junglers.
fast pace. So moving into something very aggressive, something more on the assassins kind to jungler.
Yes.
Is that what you believe that Blacklist needs to do, or that's something that is up there for both of them?
It's up there for both of them. I mean, they could go for the Luna, obviously, if it gets through to the banning phase, which I probably think it's not going to.
Yeah, I don't think so
Gaming's
either.
done their homework. They're going to be like, we're not going to kind of allow you to get a win. We kind of want a 2-0 victory here. So maybe they go for something like the Agudo, right? Like, try and go for something that's going to give them a little bit more sustain within the team fights.
Yep, exactly. I do agree for a fact that if playing towards farm lane doesn't work out, we can always look to play towards the other side. It's not always the roamer has to follow the marksman. The roamer is capable of enabling the mage, the mid lane, the jungle, or the clash lane. So these are all the potential that you can look for as a roamer here. So if you're a Blacklist International fan, you gotta wonder, what's the game plan next? What's the draft next? Who are we playing towards? Is it making Golden Kite play the safe side? Is it making sure that Chammy gets ahead? We have to figure out what's the game plan.
They do have to figure out the game plan, but I mean, if we look at Blacklist drafting game number 1, it's not like they gave over, like, I don't know, like a B tier jungler. They've sacrificed the Orgrin here. They honestly believed 100% into the Orgrin, as well as obviously pairing that with the Modsu that's going to set up those great plays with the Cannon Blast, but it just didn't come through because it was just too aggressive.
It was a very expensive formation, right? Because the Orgrin is already not there. They cannot use it anymore. Arlius it's cannot be used anymore. It's kind of like making Paws BP a little bit easier, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I mean, Asagi, what do you think is going to be going on into this BP here for either of these teams?
So you have the pressure on the side of Blacklist International to ban out their Arlie because you have already expended Arlie. And looking at Fengjie's form and performance, you do not want to give this top priority marksman pick towards the hands of Fengjie because this man is on fire right now. And looking at the draft, Dharma being banned out by South Blacklist International, removing that high setup gameplay coming in from the side of Paws Snow.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, exactly right. I mean, we do have obviously one ban left on the board, which means did they go for the Luna ban or did they go for the Mai Shiranui? But that means that they do have the Mai Shiranui available here for Blacklist, and they're forcing them to take a high priority pick again just to dismantle him in game number 2.
Why is Mai Shiranui such a high priority pick? Because so much mobility. With the spell one, with the passive, with the ultimate, just making sure that she gets in and out of team fight with all these big sets. If we look at Dharma, yes, he does the same job, but Mai Shiranui, she is the tempo maker. She is the engine of the team. She's capable of making sure that your side lane is in a comfortable spot.
Burst damage coming in from Mai Shiranui as well, right? So you can just stumble in, just delete a player from the composition and then just immediately just stumble out.
Oh, yes, exactly. I mean, what a way to shut her down as well. I mean, if one Unruly Blade isn't enough, boy, you get two with Dolia. It's like, there you go. You get an Unruly Blade. You get an Unruly Blade. We all get an Unruly Blade into these. You can make some great engages, disengages, and obviously, as we know, Dune is a fantastic pick to soak damage.
Exactly. With the passive to really ramp up these healings by attacking damage, by doing damage to even anything. You get to heal rapidly up. So tanking for Dune, easy job. And coming with Dolia, definitely. And look at Blacklist International. They go for a faster tempo. Agudo and Zhangfei, they're looking to secure these early objectives. The side lane Firebeat, the dimensional spread at the clash lane. So all these neutral objectives, Blacklist International is saying, hey, we are done playing the late mid-game fights. We want the early game.
They want the early game. I mean, they're playing to my heart. I mean, I am an Agudo main. I love this hero so much. She's so fun to play. And the fact that you can detach away with Verbal and create some great CC is exactly what they're going to be needing for a great engage, right? But looking over to the side of Paws Gaming, it looks like they're going to lock into the Hino.
That, I'm telling you, is the first time that we see Hino in this whole day. It's going to be the first performance in the KWC, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hino. A bit of a Easter egg. Level 15 Hino and level 15 Dolia definitely has a combo where it can freeze everybody in the Hino ultimate circle. So definitely, if we do go towards some Tempest Dragon sort of situation with Dolia from the side of Paul SG does get level 50, we might see that in action. But yet again, Hino, what is he known for? Anti-burst as well. If Mai Shiranui kicks him, if Mai Shiranui sets up the Hino, he can use the Fate Rewind, the ultimate to reset and regen back. So definitely, they are looking for all these alternatives to fend off this Mai Shiranui.
Yes, and speaking of alternatives, obviously we're going to have Blacklist looking for an alternative into the farm lane, right? I mean, we have obviously Flowborn being taken off here. We have the Lady Soon as well. So really, we're probably potentially looking at something like a little bit more burst here, potentially. Maybe like the Loong, or maybe even going for something like the D-Ranger.
Oh, Loong and D-Ranger, definitely those two picks come in heavy as a laner. But definitely, as you mentioned, Loong and Dolia, the double Infinite Vassals has been removed. And what else is being picked? The Fatigue. So far, this Fatigue has been on fire. It has multiple great performances out of the last 2 series that we saw. Is it going to be the same thing today for this series? I don't know, but I'm excited to see.
I'm very excited to see. I mean, it's Snow on it, right? Like, that's going up into the Clash lane. We're going to have Xiaoyang onto the Hino into the mid lane. So already, we're going to have a lot of kind of like burst here from the party, a lot of damage. But there we go. We're having some great sort of team fight potential, like knockups here with the Charlotte. So Chami really going for that playmaking. So it is going to be looking at Chami to make these playmaking plays within game number 2.
Exactly. You bang the early game on Golden Kite and you let Chami be on this Charlotte, this amazing late game threat in the side lane. Yep. Once Charlotte scales towards the Pure Sky, towards the Axe of Torment, she's going to be such a devastating unit in the side lane that I'm not sure Paws Snow can handle at all. But yet again, we got to put focus on one thing. The marksman pool has been banned out for at least 4 heroes right now. Yep. What is Feng Jie gonna pick as his last pick? Is it gonna be the Channel? Is it gonna be the Showyuan?
There's a lot of potential here, right? I mean, there we go. It's going to be the Munga with the Dolia. Munga, we haven't seen that yet. That is going to be a KWC debut, right? And again, these both teams are playing to my fandom. I love Munga and I love Agudo. This is the guy with the crazy teeth. The guy with the Gatling ton.
We talked about the hero pool, no? Like we talked about like just showing us something different, showing us something that is going to make the audience fall in love with this whole composition. Yes. And I'm telling you that right now, Paws Gaming, they are here just to satisfy everyone in this.
Exactly. Like for me, Paws bringing out the Munga that's not frequently picked in any of the regions. This is one of the picks that we want to see bloom and actually shine in this important series.
A very important series. I mean, this could be the closer for Paws Gaming to get themselves into that upper bracket within this Group B, right? So Blacklist need to come with the punches in this game number 2.
We're looking at a different approach coming in from the side of Paws. They know Chami cannot scale towards the late game. It will be much of a big issue. So Qingling forcing out Chami's flash so on early at 30 seconds of the game.
Very early on in the 30 seconds of the game, which is going to be obviously troublesome for the side of Blacklist. No kind of like escape. We could potentially see a gank up into the top side of the map to try and make some kind of headway with that.
And the board goes right over to the side of Chami 1, securing with the spell 1. So easy setup coming in from the side of Blacklist International. So right now, a different approach coming in from the side of Paws. They do not want to play towards Feng Jie. They want to cover Snow on this Fatigue, making sure that he gets a smooth early game, making sure that he secures all these neutral objectives on the side of the River Sprite.
I mean, he's going to need to, right? I mean, definitely the playmaking potential here for Snow onto the party is going to be something that those at home are going to be watching and potentially even be like, hey, I fancy my hand at this pick. It seems great. It seems like it fits my playstyle. So definitely look into the game to pick a party here. But we're already getting very aggressive fight here into the T1 territory of the side of Paws Gaming. They're not going to be able to take it down because obviously, as we see, the turret has extra shielding in the early game and it has been activated here. Myosotis given time to come down to the bot side of the map.
This is what we're talking about when we talk about Agudo. You want to play these strong laning. You want to bring the Gen.G and the Agudo synergy to take down these turrets. And what are they doing? Blacklist is just making sure that Feng Jie, you're picking this late game marksman. We are not letting you farm towards late game. We want to break your tower, your safe zone, making sure that you rotate with us.
Yes, exactly that. They've got to try and do something here. I mean, this is the beauty of the Agudo, like you were saying there, Sagi, is that she's able to take these turrets very quickly. And right now, looking to try and get the takedown onto Chami 1 is Snow, but she's able to get out alive, able to get that health pool from the bottom of that T1 there. But a bit of a rotation here from Xiaoyang, looking to try and set up that early advantage for the side of the Clash lane.
But I gotta say, Snow in this lane is doing a heck of a good job thanks to Qingling, providing so much space and time to farm towards the level 4. And right now though, a 2v2 coming to the bot side and Chaz is slowly chunked out, but he has the Unbridled Outburst ready to go.
Yeah, he kind of took that beat in at the right time, right? Like he was borderline level 4, he now has the Unbridled Outburst, so he could just basically get whittled down to very little health and then just go boom, go beast mode and get a lot of that health bar back and shield.
Exactly, and looking at the gold chart real quick, there's not a lot of big leads going on for the side of both teams. Just some small advantage coming in for the side of Blacklist International. A healthy 400 gold lead scaling towards the Tyrant. That's going to be spawned in just a moment.
Spawn in just a moment, and then right now the Umbrella Levers has been committed, so we are going to be seeing a dive into the backside of the T1 here. Fengje and Jingling is enough to drive it away. They've expanded quite a lot to get nothing out of this. Second Unruly Blade coming through, forces the flash from Golden Kite to get to safety. I feel like that's a bit of a mistake from Blacklist.
I think Blacklist does want to chain the CC onto Fengje using the Gen.G's ultimate on the Agudo, utilizing Chaz's Unbridled Outburst, but yet again, they didn't chain it immediately. They failed the kill. But yet again, the most important thing is you do not have the Unbridled Outburst for the Tyrant. That's going to be spawned in 10 seconds right now, Blam. That's detrimental.
Very detrimental for the side of Blacklist International. So they've got to try and find another way to potentially steal this away from Paws Gaming, because it's looking like a done deal here for Paws Gaming at this Tyrant, right? They're looking to run it down. Chaz is here, Dragon, but nowhere. Gen.G is rolling through with the Gorge mobilization. It does go over to the side of Paws Gaming. Fengje gets the last hit onto the Tyrant.
Well, Tyrant going over to the Paw SG right now, and they are looking healthy right now at the 4th minute mark. Goldie is equally tied, but Hino gets caught at the mid lane.
First blood coming from the side of Blacklist International. Snow's got to make sure he does not melt here into the mid lane. We see that his ultimate has been expanded here, just trying to keep that T1 alive. We do see Furball having to retreat back to Agudo.
And this is what we're talking about. My Shiranui. High burst, high setup, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yes, Hino can do Fates Rewind, can heal back the HP, but if you can't press the button, that's gonna be useless.
It is going to be useless if you can't press it, but there it is. The Umbrella Levers catching on to one. Gen.G with Golden Kite comes through, picking up the second kill here for the side of Blacklist International. Are they going to go for the third here? Jingling looking pretty low, but we are trying to create some pressure here into the mid lane.
This Blacklist International, they are warmed up and they are ready to brawl right now. With that catch onto Fengje, they got the bot tower with no issue right now. And we talked about, if you drop the Agudo, if you drop the D-Ranger, you want to make sure you are getting these towers early. Because you scale off, but yet again, you are doing such a good job as Blacklist International. You are getting the bot tower. You're making sure that Fengje doesn't have space to farm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part of it, right? Like, making sure they're learning from the mistakes of game number 1, right? Making sure they don't have space to farm into that bot side of the map, because we've seen it already been proven that Paws Gaming, given the room to breathe, they will suffocate you.
Yes, they will suffocate you indeed. But right now, 2,000 gold lead healthy going to the hands for the side of the Code Breakers. Blacklist International. Right now, swapping Golden Kite on the D-Ranger towards the bot side. They want to rinse and repeat and get this Clash Chain Tower.
They're trying to go for the, obviously, focus into the side lanes here. Obviously, a little bit of an MO for the love letter that Paws Gaming served to them in game number 1. But right now, I think if you have to get it into the top side of the map, Xiaoyang is trying to do everything to stop that takedown. And there we are. We see Chaz using the Unbridled Outburst off screen there. But there is 3 men on the side of Blacklist International committed to that top side of the map.
Well, forcing Xiaoyang's Fate Rewind, so definitely Xiaoyang not having the Fate Rewind is gonna be a pain because he cannot be escaping from the situation. But hold on, Snow might be caught out.
Oh, Snow going against 2v1 against here with the Maishiroi and the Charlotte. It's gonna be Chami picking up another kill here for the side of Blacklist International.
Beautiful reactive flash coming in from Dragon to catch out Snows after his flash immediately. Spell 1 flash, catching Snow off guard. Beautiful stuff coming in from the Maishiroi.
Yeah, definitely the pressure that the side of Blacklist needed, right? This is the pressure that we wanted to see in game number 1. But they have learned, they have brought the pain into the bot side of the map and bringing some more here over to Myosotis. He's had to retreat with the Unruly Blade. Right now, Fengje looking to solo the Overlord.
Overlord being going to the hands of Paw SG, a consolation prize. But right now, Blacklist International, they have activated, and looking at the gold charts real quick, is looking healthy for the side of Blacklist International.
Looking healthy for the side of Blacklist International, but the side of Paws are looking very sort of like neutralized in where they are within that gold bracket, right? Around about the 4K mark for all sides of Paws Gaming. They're not written out just yet, but Chami is having a heck of a game.
Exactly. That's what we mentioned. You gotta give space to Chami, making sure that he scales toward the mid-late stages of the game. He will be such a side lane monster, and he will be able to look for the flank. But hold on a minute though, as they are going for the fight.
Yes, big obviously Wind Slash being committed there, trying to get the knock, but the Chaz wasn't enough to obviously take down the Beast. I mean, Wind Slash onto a Zhang Fei, is that really the target you want to go for?
But yet again, nothing is going too crazy at this point. 3 kills solid for South Blacklist International. 2,000 gold lead healthy. Look at the gold chart right here. It is dominated by the code breakers for the top 4 spot. But yet again, we have to remember, Paul SG, they drafted the Mengya. You gotta bank on this Mengya stake game. So it's definitely down to Dragon finding these backline engages with Chami onto Fengjie, or Fengjie being to survive in these fights.
Yeah, exactly. They've got to make sure they're protecting Fengjie within these team fights and making sure he's able to get to that late game potential, right? We've seen the barrage come through here with the missiles, but still they are trying to get this T1 into the mid lane as well. Blacklist are not pulling any punches.
Not pulling any punches, and it's extremely difficult to get this mid tower with the presence of a Hano. As we know, these spears, the javelins coming in from Hano is just so much wave clear. And looking at a team that's losing in gold, they're so good in securing these objectives. They got the Overlord, and now they secured the Tyrant.
They secured the Tyrant, but I mean, it was all thanks to obviously the Vanguard, right? We saw the Vanguard rolling through down to the farm lane. Blacklist thought, you know what, guys, we can let that T1 go, but to the detriment, they also get the knock-on effect of getting that Tyrant as well, which is going to be increased damage for Paws Gaming, which could mean these next team fights for Blacklist could look a bit shaky.
Exactly, and I want to comment Paws. Even though they had a shaky early game, they were caught out multiple times from Dragon's successive engages. Through their map rotations, they are slowly creeping back to the gold graph, and they are making a situation where the 10-minute mark will be a 50-50 fight for these two teams.
Very 50-50. I mean, this is definitely not looking like it's going to be an 11-minute match for the side of Paws Gaming this time around, right? They don't have a single kill on the board. They're still behind by around about 2k gold, so they need to make leeway in those two vectors.
Exactly, and we're slowly creeping towards the 10-minute mark. 24 seconds for the Tyrant that's going to be spawned onto the map. As we mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, Shadow variants are extremely strong that can secure you a lead in getting more gold, more team fights in the Gorge.
That's exactly what Paws Gaming need to do right here. The Umbrella Labels has been committed. There's going to be the 2-dive onto Xiao. Yeah, into the mid lane. Crucial initiation. We get a takedown of the T1 in the mid. Blacklist was waiting for that prime moment. They could go for the neutral objectives with ease.
Beautiful unbridled outburst coming in from none other than Chaz on the Zhang Fei, securing the crucial engage on the crucial 10-minute mark that they need. Right now, securing the Shadow Tyrant, they are looking to contest them in the Shadow Overlord, making sure that they are not able to reclaim this.
Yeah, they gotta be careful here, but obviously we are seeing a same effort from the side of Paws Gaming. We see Fengjie looking to create that backdoor once again, but over to the Clash lane. So is this their MO in the entire of KWC? They're just looking to make sure they can create space for themselves.
Fengjie's doing a heck of a good job. He's looking for these farms. He knows he has to be this late game carry, but yet again, as we mentioned, Mengya doesn't have mobility. If you get caught up by Maestro Nui, if you get caught up by Chami, or the unbridled outburst coming in from the Zhang Fei, you're gonna be in a big trouble. So definitely we have to see how Fengjie pilots this Mengya in the team fight.
Exactly. I mean, you can kind of see here, they kind of stuck together like glue here. Fengjie and Qinglin. It's just that wave breaker keeping away. The Maestro Nui, Chami does fall down on cam as well. Could this be the comeback? We see Golden Kite traded. Snow there into the bot side of the map. We see Dragon get taken down as well here for Blacklist International. So currently, Milesot is soaking up so much damage here. The engage onto the Dune is just not enough. They don't have it in them. Blacklist are struggling here, but it is going to be the damage from the D-Ranger that's going to be able to close out Milesotis' rage.
That was true Tyrant buff, and Paws came out on top. Snow single-handedly 1v2 Chami and Dragon coming on top. Before he fell, Dragon was already so low thanks to Snow.
Very low, very low. Snow, obviously, he took the L there, but it was for the team. But Gen.G is just trying to keep high. He's trying to keep a little bit of intel here onto the side of Paws Gaming whilst they try and go for the Shadow Overlord. Have they got it in them? Is it going to reset? It doesn't reset long enough. Are they going to be able to take it?
Fengjie secures the steal, and although he falls, he takes down 2 with it. What a play coming in from Fengjie in this crucial time.
Yeah, 2-1 trade for Paws as well as the Overlord. This guy knows how to steal. I mean, it's a good job he's not a criminal because he's good.
Criminally good, but also Golden Kite sneaking a recall, making sure that he's safe from Xiao Yang's chase. But definitely, through such a good early game, Paws is slowly creeping back and catching up to Blacklist International, and they will get outscaled eventually here, Blam.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? I mean, we were saying it in the early game. Obviously, they create the space into the top side of the map. They are able to take these team fights later on, thanks to obviously just allowing the room to breathe, and obviously Fengjie and as well Xiao Yang obviously being almost into that 4th place within the gold bracket here as well now. But overall, it's looking shaky for Blacklist. They needed to run this one out early.
Exactly, needed to win this out early, but yet again, Fatih on Snow was such a good performance here. Time and time again, when you need someone to stand up the most, he was there to really make it happen. Gotta give props to this man, but right now, Shadow Vanguard, the Overlord, has been spawned at the mid lane. They want to push. They want to secure more lead for Paws SG.
Yeah, exactly. They were trying to pay back the dividends that they've already faced into the mid lane for themselves. Paws G here, looking to try and take it now, but we have the Embridle Outburst. The Fate Rewind has been committed already, so nobody's going down just yet. Myosotis looked pretty low, but same with Dragon into the back line. Chammy's had to go into the back line to try and protect him as well. Means that the T1 into the mid lane has been taken down.
T1 taken down, waves are on fire for side of the Code Breakers, and right now, Paws SG securing the Shadow Tyrant for themselves. They are looking even stronger right now, progressing another push towards the bot side.
Another push. This is exactly. I'm pretty sure this is going to be their MO for the rest of the tournament, right? They look to create the space into these side lanes and keep the enemy team just thinking, hey, we've won another team fight. We've won another team fight. But then all of a sudden, it's just like, hey, you've got no turrets, buddy.
You got no turrets, buddy. And right now, Fengjie claiming another tower towards the bot side. Right now, mid and bot strong. They're looking to knock on this tier 3 right now.
Knocking on the T3 is the side of Paws Gaming right now. They take it down, and it's looking like we've just copied and pasted the first game, but it's going to be Blacklist International looking to defend this one with a little bit more honor, right? Because they know what's at stake.
It's still a 50-50 game. You can never count out the PKL number 2 representatives out. They have the tools. They have what it takes to make a comeback at this moment. You have Dragon on the Maestro. You have Chaz. So much engaged potential. They just need to find the crucial moment on Fengjie to really claim this game and push it to a best of 3 full.
Yeah, I mean, they know that, right, though, but on the side of Paws Gaming, we see that Fengjie on the Munga is nowhere near the team fight, right? Like, he's always kind of, like, circulating around. He's just kind of trying to make sure that Blacklist are trying to find him, but he doesn't want to be found.
That's what I'm saying. He's such a top-tier farm lane in today's tournament.
Yep.
So far, even though he's gotten so much pressure coming in from Blacklist early game, he has caught up and he is leading the pack in terms of gold.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to go to Kin's point earlier. He was on about KDA meaning everything. Look at this. Fengjie is on 0-2-4, but he's been just controlling the entire of this game in terms of getting the takedowns of these turrets.
Exactly. This thanks towards the side of Paws SG, the other remaining members, being able to absorb this pressure. But talking about absorb pressure, the Overlord has been started off for side of Blacklist International.
Yeah, I mean, this is where Blacklist could resolve it, right? But the Embridle Outburst has been committed once again by the side of Chaz, and we are going to take that onto Chammy, one of the big playmakers of Blacklist International. This could be the last team fight between these two teams. Double kill for Snow. We get a kill on the board for Fengjie as well. And Colvin Kite running with his tail between his legs as they push their Crystal with the Winions. And it is going to be a 2-1 victory here for Paws Gaming.
2-0 clean coming from side of Paws SG. That fight had no Fengjie. It was just Snow. It was just the jungle, just making sure that it was happening. They were dictating the team fight so well. The high note with the spears, the javelins was doing so much in the team fight. And we talked about Blacklist drafting this early to make it team